I'm feeling a little bit nervous and a little bit vulnerable for what I'm going to talk about today, but I wanted to get raw and real with you before the holidays. So that's what we're talking about today on The Art of Lifing with Keka. So Christmas is upon us, and there's so many conversations at the office, among social circles and friends about our year in review and what our year's been like. And, if I were to answer that question really, truly, honestly this year, it's been a very tough year for me. And I actually don't really like saying that because I want things to be good. My natural disposition is to try to be happy. I want to be happy. It's the reason why I created The Art of Lifing, is that I really do think that if we give ourselves intention and purpose, we can create the life that we desire. But really and truly, this year, more than anything else, with everything that I've been trying to do, I just have felt like energy-wise, I feel like I'm like knee-deep in mud, probably even waist-deep in mud, and just trying to like push my way through. And it hasn't been comfortable. There've been a lot of difficult moments, and I've just tried to be happy. I've tried to say to myself, if I choose to be happy, if I choose to stay positive, things will get better. But I wanted to get raw and real with you here because I think that this was a big lesson I have learned this past year, is that I think there's a lot of value in wanting to be happy and making intentional choices that would get you there, but you can't ignore when things are tough. And that's what I've done for most of my life, is I have seen people around me who have really suffered by looking at things from a glass half empty sort of perspective. I've watched people close to me, people that I've loved so much, truly, truly go through so much hurt from that. And somewhere inside of me, I thought, you know what? I don't want any of that. That sort of pain and sadness and anger and all of that it's just not fun. And, there are better ways. And so I'm just going to look at things in a different way. And, we talk about positivity, and we look at, if we think we're happy, we're going to be. If we say we're happy, we're going to manifest it. And I just decided that that's what I was going to do. But I think that this year is one of those years where everything that was inside of me for a really long time is just starting to bubble up now. And I can't ignore the hurt anymore. I've been in social circles and conversations where people know that I'm happy. I was in labor with my son, and I went up to the maternity ward. I'm in so much pain. And the nurse said to me, "Oh, honey, you're not in labor. You're smiling. You're clearly not in pain." And I was like, no, I'm in pain, but I'm excited to have a baby, and I'm happy about that. So I tend to be happy a lot of the time, or that's what people see. They don't always see the sadness that I feel inside. And I actually didn't give myself permission to feel that sadness inside for a long time. So whenever we'd have a difficult conversation in a work setting, people would be like, art of lifing, we've got to be happy. And I started to realize that, I've pushed away the sadness and the hurt and the anger inside of me. I pushed it so deep inside of me for so long that I actually almost forgot how to express myself. So a few weeks ago, I went through a difficult day. I was watching a loved one just emotionally going through so much, and I couldn't help them. And it was also affecting me, and I felt helpless. And I thought, I kind of need to cry this out. We talk a lot about girls having a good cry. I just thought, I just need to cry this out. I need to get this out of me. And I said to my husband, I'm just going to go for a drive just to be by myself. And I'm going to try to get this out, because I didn't want to be bothering other people around me. So I get into the car. I'm sort of by myself. I'm like, okay, you know what? I just need to let this out. And I couldn't. Literally, I felt like the lid inside of me, I had shut it so tight that I couldn't let it out. And I remembered then at that time that as a kid, I would cry all the time. I would be happy, I would be sad. Whatever I felt in the moment, I expressed it in the moment, and I didn't carry any baggage with me. I would just keep going. But all my life growing up, most adults around me used to say that crying is a sign of weakness. And I would see people get angry instead of sad. And for my childhood, I used to just let it out and cry anyway because I couldn't help it. But I guess somewhere in adulthood, and I sort of forgot about this, but somewhere in adulthood, I closed that lid so tight that I basically didn't give myself permission to feel sadness or permission to feel anything. So now when I could feel it bubbling up, I couldn't get it out. And it felt like a poison inside of me, in and out, that I just couldn't get out. So I gave it some time. I just kept thinking, I've got to get this out. I've got to just cry. And even when I started to cry, in my head, there was that dual voice, one that's feeling and another that's going, oh, look, you're crying. You need to stop. I also felt a sense of anger and I wanted to get it out. And I remember people saying, when you feel something deep inside, maybe hit a pillow, scream out loud, do whatever. I didn't have anything in me. And then about a half an hour later, I went to pick up somebody and then drop them off. And on my way home, oh my God, I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I was driving, I got off the off-ramp in the highway, and suddenly it came bursting out. And I was screaming in the car. Just screaming like I'd never screamed before. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to lose my voice. I'm not going to have a voice the next day. But I got it out. I got as much as I could out. And when I got home, I said to my husband, I feel better. I actually feel a lot lighter. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is that it's okay. This is what I've learned, is it's okay to want to be happy. It's okay to want to work towards happiness and to do life with intention. But the big lesson I've learned this year is that we can't ignore the sadness we feel inside of ourselves, and it's okay to express it. It's okay to let it out. Since all of this happened, I've spoken to a few of my girlfriends that are close to me, and I've said, yeah, I started to scream in the car, and I'm sure that I probably scared some people that were around me. And surprisingly, two of my very close friends said to me, yep, I've done that too. And yeah, I've had a good cry, and yeah, I've screamed out loud like someone was going to, it was putting me through excruciating pain. I've done that too. But here's the thing. I thought I was all by myself when I felt that way in the car. I thought that nobody feels this way. But the validation came to me through my friends that, yeah, you know what? We all go through difficult times. So anyhow, I'm all emotional. It was not my intention to do this, but I wanted to share this with you because here's the thing. People go through difficult times during the holidays. A lot of people feel alone. A lot of people feel hurt. A lot of people are coming around their family where they might be triggered from other things. But a lot of people also want to be happy, and I don't think that they're two mutually exclusive things. That's the big thing that I feel like I've learned today, is that we can be happy, we can focus on being intentionally happy, but I think that we can't ignore how we feel inside. So over the holidays, if you're having a difficult time, if you feel like there's that emotional poison inside of you, find a way to work it out that's working best for you. Journal, talk to somebody, get professional help if you need to, scream in the car like I did if you need to. But at the end of the day, holding it in is something that is unhealthy for us, and we have to learn that it's okay to let that go. And then in between those moments, if you feel happy and you want to be happy, by God, be happy. The holidays are a beautiful time for us to reflect, heal ourselves, grow, and plan for the next year. And I think that at the end of the day, we should give ourselves permission to do all of those things. And the reason I wanted to share this with you is just I wanted you to know that if you're feeling like this, you're not alone. You have permission to be happy, but you also have permission to be sad, angry, hurt, and all of those things. So from my heart to yours, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, wonderful holidays, Happy New Year. I only want the best for you, and I hope that we can continue doing our Art of Lifing journey together. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it, comment on it, and share it with someone you love. I put out new videos every Tuesday, and if you want to be notified specifically, then just click on that bell icon. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey, and I'll see you next time.